Hello YouTube, VidHead85 here, and I just want to talk a little bit about so-called Fox News. You know, you know, every day when I wake up, I think about Fox News. How it's fair and balanced. Yes, I know, they are. I especially love Bill O'Reilly and how he's rude to his guests. He's as rude as Chris Matthews can be, but of course, Chris Matthews is a liberal. He's an idiot. Nobody cares. Okay, on the low, I watch Chris Matthews. And Megyn Kelly is their Rachel Maddow. Except for the fact that she's wrong all the time. Sean Hannity. Well, he's trying to be like Keith Olbermann. Keith Olbermann actually has an IQ higher than 2, and that counts for you simply putting your name on the IQ test. Sean Hannity, you are no Walter Cronkite. Rush Limbaugh is a cyst also on the ass of society and humanity. Megan Fox, well, what is she? Well, I don't know. But if anything, I have to say that Fox News is where I get all my news. Which I'm wearing a Steelworkers for Obama shirt simply because, well, I wanted to show how idiotic an Obama supporter could be. Let alone the fact that Obama did put us on pace to become a top oil exporter and lowered the deficit quite handily. And I believe, even though the national debt is up, most of it wasn't his fault. It was, unfortunately, that idiot, the idiot that preceded him, following the genius that preceded him. Wow. But anyway, I was, of course, shocked when Ohio was called for Obama, Ohio, and Ohio was called for him too. I mean, come on, I listen to Karl Rove all day, and they're refreshing the screen every day. I didn't see anything about the voter suppression by the Ohio Secretary of State, but I heard a lot about the war on Christmas, and unfortunately I didn't hear about Bill O'Reilly punching a Santa Claus because he said Happy Holidays. But I also hear that holiday is Latin for holy day. But of course none of this penetrates my nice little bubble. It's somewhere, I don't know. It's so big for me, It's like Bubble Boy with Jake Gyllenhaal. And if anything, I like to roast my coffee in my bubble because it keeps me safe and warm from the liberal agenda of equal rights and voting. Gun control. Where's my gun? Limiting the kinds of weapons that people can have and the kinds of ammo that they can have. Despite the fact that, and I truly believe that if you have more guns, you have more security. Even though a lot of the shootings in Fort Hood and Columbine, which had an armed officer, California, which had an armed officer, and Fort Hood, which was a military base, had all the stockpiles of guns that you can imagine, especially on that military base, and people died. So I am in lockstep with the NRA, and I'm in lockstep with this Tea Party, and I love the fact that they talk about a man who had a professorship at Harvard as being mentally retarded or handicapped. And I don't find anything wrong with saying the word retarded, even though it simply means deficient or not growing at a regular pace. And I don't see anything wrong with Ann Coulter using that word. I don't see anything wrong with wanting to deport Piers Morgan because he's using his First Amendment rights even as a permanent resident here and a legal immigrant, a legal or a documented person here, using his First Amendment rights to talk about the Second Amendment and about the rights of gun owners. I don't see anything wrong with that because he's not an American. He's a foreigner telling Americans what to do. So I understand Alex Jones, and I only watch things like the Young Turks, Rachel Maddow, Chris Matthews, Al Sharpton, only to tell people, hey, look, these are liberals. And this is to show that MSNBC has the highest bias of all, but Fox News is better at keeping it fair and balanced, even though they've been labeled as propaganda. Well, maybe I'll believe the hype. And I truly believe that Ronald Reagan was a real conservative. I don't believe the so-called things that Ronald Reagan was a fiscal conservative and good economic steward in name only. And I don't believe the myth that Ronald Reagan gave amnesty to 3 million illegal immigrants. But if Obama does the same, well, he's a liberal commie socialist. In fact, that rivalry dates back to when he beat me in soccer when we were growing up in Kenya. I'm a little young, I know, but play with me here. So I love Fox News. It's real news. Every nonpartisan report that debunks them, every real thing that debunks them and has a liberal bias, I simply dismiss because reality has a liberal bias. Nonpartisan stuff, please. Congressional Budget Office, who likes them anymore? Congressional Research Service that had a report that proved that tax cuts really don't benefit the economy for the rich. Phooey. I'm not a rich man, but I work for rich men, and I want them to keep their money so they can oppress me more. And this lovely Fox News is telling it like it is, keeping it fair and balanced, even though they do kind of contour to the fascist statements and stuff like that by telling everybody that they're the only ones that they can trust because everyone's lying to them. And, of course, the Republican Party. I'm a card-carrying Republican. Why? Because the Republicans freed the slaves and because the Republicans fought racism. Even though they did take a sharp turn toward with the preachers in the 1960s because of the liberal degradation of America, but it's all talk. They don't really hate black people. They don't really those voter suppression things. Oh, it's just Democratic propaganda. We need to stop voter fraud. And I've seen 5 nonpartisan, no, actually they were the Heritage Foundation. They were the National something of Independent Businesses. But yeah, they're kind of leaning toward the right, but it's okay. They're on our side here. The Republicans are the only ones that are good fiscal sound conservatives because every single state that they've ever controlled is rich. Mississippi being one of the chief ones. So this is what I like about Fox News. It keeps all of that intact. It keeps all of it intact. It talks about freedom and it upholds freedom. It fights real wars like the war on Christmas. It ignores the fake wars like the war on women, the war on blacks and the poor, and the voting rights of workers. Who needs them? But we want Christmas. We want to celebrate Christmas, even if the union thugs are out of work. So that's why I like Fox News, and that's why I only get my information from Fox News. Bill Maher, you describe me perfectly. And again, I watch your show because, well, hey, I'm not even going to lie. Ever since my party took a real shift to the right, that's the only time you've ever been funny. Bill O'Reilly, I admire you. Justice Scalia, Thomas, Allen West, I love you. I love you entirely. It's all about the team. And then you refuse to concede your seat. But hey, it's all about the team. If you don't concede the race, you don't get kicked out in January. Fox News, I love you. I love you. Gets to me, damn it. Come on, mouse, point to the thing that says it's over.